Hi, welcome to another Tech Talk by Terry and our presenter, Jamie. This is a New Mexico DELC presentation. Today, the title of our Tech Talk is Just Add Students. We're going to try to click and create a Google Classroom in 30 minutes. So we're going live. Here's our agenda for today. We're going to try to access Classroom, learn a little bit about teacher setup, create your class, add students, talk about the different tabs, stream, student, and about, and we're going to create announcements and assignments, everything you need to get started with your Google Classroom. So let's go live. Okay, first we're going to have to know how to get to Google Classroom. If you're in the suite of applications that we have here, you can just go to your Google Classroom through a launch or through an app, or you can type in Google Classroom. So I'm going to bring up some classrooms right here. Now you might not have any of these classrooms because you haven't created one yet, but that's okay. One important thing to know is that you need to have a Google Chrome browser that's been updated for the current Google Chrome. And you have to have a Google Apps for Education username and password, which means you have to get on that NMDELC site and you have to sign up and request an NMDELC address. Then Google Classroom is free and it comes with a lot of really cool tools. So we're going to get you set up to start your class right now. So how do we start a class? Click the plus here. And you'll see a little thing. We have two options: join a class, create a class. So today we're going to create a class. Okay, it's a good idea to have a name for your class before you come on here, and a class name or a little description about it. For today's webinar, we're just going to make up one. So I love math. I think we'll do something with math. So I'm going to do a demo math class. So we just type this in to the blank here. And if you're watching the recording, you can follow along with me at home. And we usually put a section or a class period, and I'm just going to put online because we are always online. And I'm going to create. It's as simple as that. And here it comes. Ooh, look at that. First thing I like to do when I'm looking at my class is change this picture. I don't know where they got this picture, but what we're going to do now is change the picture. But you will notice down here that you can take a tour. If you want to start a tour, it takes you around the little features. So let's watch the tour. Post a classroom stream. In the classroom stream, you can post announcements, create assignments, and ask questions to your class. And then it'll take us to the next feature, which is the class code. Students use this to join the class, and we'll talk a little bit more about the class code when we start adding students. Next, student tab, that's where we invite students. We have our list of our roster of students, and we can say, got it. So we are done with the tour. So we're going to go back up here. So first thing I like to start decorating usually. What you'll see is the backdrop here is not necessarily something that you want. You can select a theme down here where I'm pressing select theme, and you can take one of the ones that are standard that come out of Google. So we have a gallery of different themes here, and I'll let you look through it a little bit. We have some science stuff, some abstract stuff, some frogs, some butterflies, but nothing really says me in here, especially that one with the intestines on it. Maybe you want to look for something in patterns. We have some standard patterns here. You just pick one that's your favorite color maybe, and you can do it that way. Or we can upload a photo. Let's click upload a photo. So there's different ways we can drag a photo into here, or we can upload it from a file that we have. I'm actually going to upload, and I'm going to select a photo from my computer. So we're just going to go in here and look at pictures and find something that looks math related. And this one looks kind of cool. So I'm going to double click that, and it will upload it. Sometimes you have to play with the size a little bit with the pixels so it fits in the background nicely. But if you have a favorite picture at home, maybe you want to upload it, maybe you want to take one of their standard themes. So I'm going to select this as my class theme. It has lots of numbers in it. There we go. So now it makes it feel a little bit more like you and your class. So what's the next thing we want to do? We want to learn what these stream, students, and about are. How do we create a class? Well, we need students to create a class. But first, let's put something in there for the students. So at this point, you can see we have a class code, SST4E7P. We have a stream that's not quite on yet. And we have this tour thing that keeps getting in the way. Students. Under the student tab is where we're going to invite students. So there's two basic ways to invite students to your classroom. If they already have an account with NMDelt or a Google account, then they can go in here and they can just add the code. It's a unique classroom code, and you saw that this is the code, so we can just give them the code. Or we can put a list into our Gmail, and we can add them by email address. One tip is if you plan on enrolling your students, you will need their email addresses. And the easiest way to do that is create it as a group, a contact group in your Gmail. And that way the students would show up here. So invite. All your contacts that you have from your Gmail are going to show up in this list. So if I wanted to invite a student, I think I could just search myself. And it's always good to see it from the student point of view. And I'm going to just add me as my Gmail here. So we could go through and select all if we had them in a group, or we could add them in individually, and then we would click invite students. They're automatically sent an email with a link that will put them in here. So that's how you add students. The stream is where your lessons will be and what your students' assignments will be. But before you start any of your assignments, I suggest you go to the About page. The About page is kind of like an introduction to who you are. The things that you're going to want to put in here are things that you don't want the students to lose. So things like your profile, things like your syllabus. So there's different ways that we can add things into it. Title, a welcome maybe. Welcome to Demo Math. Just like you would do any kind of introduction in your classroom, you're going to do it through here. So you're going to want to put some stuff in there that makes them feel like they bond with you. Class description, our first Google Classroom. And excuse my typing. Okay, so we can put a room in here. What you're going to notice here is now that we've created this class, we also have a Google Drive folder with our name and everything that goes in there that comes into our class is going to go into that folder. We can attach a calendar if we want. I'm just going to put save here. Add materials. So I talked about possibly getting maybe the stuff that you don't want them to lose, like your syllabus. So how do we add the materials? Let's go down here. Syllabus. Now, if you've created a doc on your computer in Word, you could go ahead and upload it into here. Here we have a link. This is the little paperclip looking thing. We can get something from our drive, a document from our drive. We can YouTube ourselves just talking about the syllabus, or we can get an attachment. I'm sorry, the attachment was the paperclip. This is the link. So what I'm going to do is press the drive one because I have just uploaded some things into my drive just for this occasion. So I have some things under a test folder that I'm going to put into my classroom that I just had to drag and drop. Syllabus right here. So you just double click that and we'll add it and you can see it here. Maybe I want to add something more than my syllabus, like a profile. I'm going to go back here. I have a welcome doc that I have that I want to add, and I'm going to click on that and add that. Possibly I want to add a YouTube, just something funny for them to see when they first come in. I click on this, and you can search any YouTube. I'm going to search Batman and Robin math. And maybe it will find the video I'm looking for. Okay, this is one. I just want to show you how to put this in. Might not necessarily be the one that I want. I can preview it right here. I'm just going to add as something funny for them to look at. There's other things I can do. I can add some sort of learner intake form if I want, but anything that I don't want lost, maybe I want it in here. I will post. And if you notice over here on the left, you can invite teachers to collaborate with you. So this is the area if you wanted to invite somebody to co-teach with you or to collaborate with you. So as we go to the stream now, I'm going to have welcome to your class, start tour, or click about, and you'll see the stuff that I've put in here. For example, there's the syllabus. They are automatically taken to the docs, and I would have my online syllabus here, etc., etc. So let's go back to classroom. Stream. Stream is where you're going to put all your assignments, all your announcements, and you'll see here we have on the right-hand side 1, 2, 3, 4 things. We can reuse a post, we can create a question, we can create an assignment, or we can create an announcement. For today, I want to show you how to create an assignment. So we just need to click on this, give our assignment a title. I'm going to assign this, I'm going to title it Monty Hall Game Show. And the reason why I'm titling it that is because this is a lesson in probability. So what we're going to do is figure out the probability of switching or staying with a given door. So we might want to write the description, probability of staying or switching doors. I can add a due date or no due date at all. You can see here I can do a due date and time. I can make the time optional, which means there's no due date, or I can take this off completely, no due date. I might want to add some stuff like some instructions maybe with this and a video to show them what I mean about if they've never seen a Monty Hall game. So I'm going to go to my drive here. And I'm actually going to look for my Monty Hall game in here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Oh, here we go. This is the instructions for how to play the Monty Hall game. I'm going to add that. Right here we see students can view file. Maybe I don't want them to touch the file and mess it up. So maybe I just want them to have a copy. If we were to click student can edit file, that means they can collaborate on that document together. Students can view file means they are only allowed to view it. So I'm going to make a copy for each student for this. And I'm going to add a couple more things that have to do with the Monty Hall game, like maybe an exit slip or a question. And I'm going to go down here because I think it's down here. Oops. I am not seeing my little thing here, so we'll just have to add that later. And that's another nice thing is you can edit these. And my slips aren't in here, so we're going to just stop that for now. And then I'm going to assign it. And what will happen is everything will go into our classroom folder here for this. If we click this, we can save it as a draft. We don't have to sign it right away. We can schedule it for another time. We can assign right now. So I'm going to assign right now. So we have different things that we can add on to our assignments, which is really nice. Each assignment that we make will go on top of the other assignment, and we'll go ahead and we'll make another assignment. I'm going to title this one the number one. There's a great BBC video out there, and I'm going to click on the YouTube thing and search for it. The Story of One by the BBC. Maybe I want them to watch this. We'll search that. The Story of One full documentary. I believe it's this one, BBC. Yes, so I'm going to select this one and add. And of course, I don't want them to watch this without having some sort of stop and comprehension going on. So I'm going to attach maybe some questions that go with the video and different stopping points for the video. So I'm going to go back to my drive here and go to tests. And I should have the pictures in here. We could attach something from a file on our computer. We can attach something that we put in our drive. Students can get a copy of each. And I'm going to not put a date on this, I don't think. Due tomorrow. That seems good enough. Assigned. So basically, what you want to do is just go in there and play with this. So we can move this up. That's as far as the editing goes. If I wanted to put this as the first assignment, I could move it to the top. I could also go back and edit the assignment later before it was due. So what the students would see would be in the stream. And because I haven't got one student but me, we'll be able to click on this and we'll be able to see the Story of One video. So it's very good. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things you can add to this. If any of you already are using Google Chrome and you want to add some neat apps to this, you can go to your Chrome launcher and go to the Google Web Store and search for things that you can add. I want to stop right now because I want to get a sense of if we have any questions for the Google Classroom before I move on. If our moderator is still here. Whoops, I'm sorry about that. I just lost it. Any questions? Okay, then we'll just move on from here. Let's go back to our Google Classroom and play around. Sorry about the delay here. You can find your Google Classroom usually in the app launcher here or in the little hot dog thing. I'm going to close some of these windows here. Now, you can also create different classes within this. So you can have as many classes as you want. You can see we have a lot of classes here. I'm going to show you our apps class that we just started, Google Apps and Extensions. And you can see we have a whole different class for this one. So some of the things you can link to your Google Classroom after you look through the store, there's something called Padlet. Padlet is like allows you to do post-its onto a board that you can pick out. So you can pick out different displays from the background here. But it's a great way to introduce students and to have them meet each other. It's as simple as them going and clicking on this and then writing something. They can also insert something, a picture. They can just record their voice and say, hi, who I am. They can record a video of themselves. They can put a document in, or they can put a funny video like this one in. What better way to introduce yourself, especially if you're a shy person? That tells a lot about somebody. So they get to kind of pick according to their learning style and their personality. So let's close this off. We have Hi, I'm Larry. I put a little picture of a UFO looking thing in there. So this is one of the things you can use alongside with Google Classroom. Down here, something called Zaption. Zaption is a great extension that you can add on. It allows you to create pauses and stops within a video. So you can upload any YouTube into this, and you can create when to stop and when to start. You can add things like titles.
Trouble keeping up with Chrome? Do your knuckles
So I found this funny video I thought was great.
Then it is time to Chromercise! All right!
And I have inserted questions. It's very easy to use app.
And 1 tab, and 2,
and you'll see my question
and 4.
show up, and they can't go any further unless they answer the question. So it's very cool. So I submit my answer, and it keeps track of the data and the analytics.
Yeah, leave that comment.
So that is one thing.
Faster.
So what I started doing when I started Google Classroom was I just played around with it and found things that I like and attached it inside there. Some study that I used to know, things from TED Ed, from a classroom I created in TED Ed. You can use some of the bigger apps like Pear Deck, Powtoons. So all of these go well, and this is a Prezi thing. So it's a great way to collaborate. I suggest you start small, just have fun with it. And that is all you need basically in 30 minutes. There is another section where I could talk about how the assignments are graded. That might take a bit longer than 30 minutes. So I hope that you did enjoy this Tech Talk, and we will see you soon. Remember, if you have anything that you want to learn, send us an email and we'll put it on the air and do the best we can. So thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time. Google Hangouts. Jamie, are you there? Jamie, I'm losing it. Okay, I'm getting the scroll thing here. So let me stop sharing my screen. Okay. Hello, are you still there?